If you are anything like me, you are probably wondering, why are stocks up? The reason why the market is roaring is because Gilead, the maker of Remdesivir, has apparently met their goal as far as their trial, so now they're moving on to phase 3 trials. So let's talk a little bit about the phase 3 trials, what happened and what's going to happen in the future, and what's going to happen with Gilead's business. This is good news for the economy. The economy could be opening back up. But I wouldn't get too optimistic too quick or get too FOMO-y on this stock. Well, anyways, let's get into this. So this is straight from their site. Remdesivir is an investigational nucleotide analog with broad-based spectrum antiviral activity in both in vitro and in vivo. In other words, in vitro versus in vivo, that means in the test tube versus in the patient. It shows antiviral activity in animals against multiple emerging viral pathogens, including Ebola, Marburg, MERS, and SARS. In vitro testing conducted by Gilead has demonstrated that Remdesivir is active against the virus that causes COVID-19. The safety and efficacy of Remdesivir for the treatment of COVID-19 are being evaluated in multiple ongoing phase 3 trials. So what does that all mean? That means that we have to sit back, we have to wait for Remdesivir to be put through these phase 3 trials. That means that this is not guaranteed. That means that we need to wait and see what these phase 3 trials are going to turn out. So this is not all guaranteed yet, but that would mean big money for Remdesivir if they are able to get this through phase 3 trials. Right now, they're not sure about how safe the drug is. They're testing the safety in the phase 3 trials. As of making this video, the stock is up 6%. Who knows where it could go in the future? It's up about 30% on the 3-month view, and that is because the drug is showing some efficacy. They've ran people through 5-day treatments and 10-day treatments, and they seem to both have about equal efficacy. From the numbers that I'm seeing, the 5-day trials seem to be working a little bit better. I'll put those on the screen right now. The study they did was a double-blind placebo trial. Double-blind basically means that the people administering the drugs and the people receiving the drugs, neither one of them knew who was getting which drug. So there's no placebo effect and there's no tipping off of who's getting which drug. They don't know who's getting which drug. Remdesivir cites an odds ratio of 0.75, which the odds ratio is if A, then B. So if you have a positive odds ratio that is over 1, then if A is present, then it is more likely that B will also be present. An odds ratio under 1, or 0.75 in this case, is if A is present or the drug, then B is less to be present. So they're seeing a below 1 odds ratio with this drug. That is good. Statistically speaking, that is good. That means that it's seeing some efficacy in these patients. They are actually recovering faster than those who do not take the actual drug. And like I said, it is a blind study, so the placebo effect is not in effect in these studies. Times are very different with this development of this drug, just as the development of the tests. For example, in my lab, we are running tests that did not go through the same rigors that they would have if it was a different situation where we're just trying to pump out these tests, these drugs. We're trying to get them quickly to the public because this is a global crisis, this is a global pandemic, and we're trying to just get stuff out as quickly as we can. So obviously, we want it to be safe, but we're trying to get it out under stressful conditions, and it's very time sensitive how we're trying to get these drugs out. And I only say that because that's something that they cited on their site as something to consider, so I wanted to share that with you all. If you guys want to verify this information, you can verify everything that I'm saying on Gilead's website. That's where you can go to investor relations and you can see all of their public press releases and just figure out everything that's going on with Remdesivir. So let's talk a little bit more about this study and then we'll go ahead and get out of here and close out the video. According to Gilead's website, there should be a press release within the next few weeks or so, but let's just get into the study that they just concluded and what they will be releasing within the next couple weeks. To be a part of the study, patients were required to have evidence of pneumonia and reduced oxygen levels that did not require mechanical ventilation at the time of the study entry. Clinical improvement was defined as an improvement of 2 or more points from the baseline on a predefined 7-point scale, ranging from hospital discharge to increasing levels of oxygen support to death. Patients achieved clinical recovery if they no longer required oxygen and they were able to be discharged from the hospital. If they got treated before they had symptoms for 10 days, they fared better than people who got treated after they had already had symptoms for 10 days. Of the patients who were treated early, 62% of patients who were treated early were able to be discharged from the hospital, compared with 49% of patients who were treated late. So to sum everything up, it appears that they may have something with some efficacy going on despite what came out of China. It appears that it is time sensitive. The earlier the better as far as the treatment. So this might be some good news for the economy. This might be some good news for us getting to go back outside again. And hopefully you guys liked this video. If you did, make sure you give it a like and see you guys in the next one, and subscribe if you haven't already.